There was something special about family road trips in the 1960s and 70s. Families, pets, parents, and grandparents would all shuffle into a car on a summer day to drive halfway across the United States to go to some subpar theme park or zoo full of local wildlife. Yet, it would be the most fun that family would ever have. And I don't think you can get that kind of simple excitement anymore. According to Richard Rattay, author of Don't Make Me Pull Over, he said, when you went on a family vacation, you were setting off into the wild frontier on a great adventure together. You as a family were going to have to overcome these challenges and find ways to deal with them. And he's right. Back then, there was a sense of going into that unexplored wilderness, not knowing if your car was going to make it through the night, and not having access to a map or a cell phone right then and there. And while having a phone and a map are great to have nowadays, it's kind of sad to lose that excitement and adventure and thrill. So the biggest question here is, how can we get lost without actually getting lost? My name is Colton Hall, and this is the point of subject that my application, Monumental, tackles, working to bring back that spirit of adventure and exploration to the common family road trip. Many small towns across America have seen a decline in tourism. Main streets are forced to close their doors because what was once a thriving highway that ran right through that town is now nothing more than a simple side street compared to the interstates that are scattered throughout the nation. These towns were once built on travelers where families could stop and grab a bite and fill up on gas or even do some shopping if they really wanted. Yet freeways have opened up the opportunity for these cars to just keep driving without ever stopping. And while many of these tiny communities really don't rely on tourism as their primary industry, this drop in that tourism has caused thousands of Americans to lose their jobs and their homes. Over 1,300 workers in tourism lose their jobs every year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Monumental is set to change that way that American tourism works, helping to bring back small-town economy and give travelers a reason to get off that main highway, opting to travel on a journey through the countryside in an adventurous sort of state. One of the biggest ways that is going to work is through using local and state historical societies to maintain each state's destinations and trips. So not only are the travelers getting the best and most local knowledge, but they're also receiving properly and personally curated trips and locations and adventures and landmarks that is going to best fit their own needs. One couple who can benefit from this greatly, from this application, is Jake and Sarah Richards. As a newlywed couple, they want people to go on a trip that they can enjoy every step of. Neither of them are very adventurous, but they want to have an experience more than just driving down the highway to a single simple location or landmark. With Monumental, the Richards can easily begin that experience. If they open the app, they can quickly go ahead and select a trip that's permanently curated for them, and they can read up on what they'll see and explore during that trip. Each adventure has several small stops or locations that the guided tour will take them through, with a voiceover reading through the history and facts about landmarks. That way they can continue driving if they so desire, or they can choose to stop and take in the sights and stretch their legs every so often. The tour guide is the primary attraction of Monumental, but not the only. Travelers can create their own trips, like trips that they want to take in the future, and find locations that they can travel to, all within the app itself. In addition to that application, the simple management desktop client that the state historical societies use in order to create new tourist destinations, the amount of travelers that they see, and create custom tour trips. One of the people who would be using this, and a lot of users of this client, would be a him to Mrs. Susan Berriton, a historian of the Arizona State Historical Society. And the Monumental client was created for people like her to be very easy to use so that they can go in and alter to change the text and images quickly without overwhelming those like Mrs. Berriton, allowing her to extend her knowledge of her state without being worried about messing anything else up. In addition to the application itself, the ads are going to reflect Monumental's adventurous nature. So billboards along highways will tempt and tell people that their adventure could be waiting just on the next exit. Monumental can plan the trip so they don't have to, eliminating that before adventure hassle of coming up with places to go on their road trip. And the social media ads will be forceful in nature, giving people an attitude such as get lost, go nowhere, and get out, pushing readers to stop their scroll and look at our message of getting lost and finding that middle of nowhere so that they'll get out on an adventure and lose track of time. Ultimately, Monumental's entire brand is designed to evoke an adventurous effort, keeping simple tech and navigation users of all kinds for whatever needs. The primary goal to bring economy and tourism to these small towns and landmarks of all kinds while providing a fun and classic feeling of adventure for these families. Thank you for your time with me today and listening to what Monumental has to offer for not just one small group, but hopefully for the nation as a whole. Thank you.